Hello everyone, so today we are going to learn about a new international and intergovernmental body which is known as SAARC, South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. So in this, let's begin our video. So in this video we will be going to learn about SAARC. So firstly we will say its overview, then significance of SAARC for India, challenges and its dysfunction, objectives, key achievements of SAARC, India's contribution to SAARC, then way forward, and in the last we will summarize all things what we have learned till now of the SAARC. So let's begin. Let's see the overview of SAARC. SAARC is an intergovernmental organization and geopolitical union of South Asian countries created in December 1985 in Dhaka. Okay, so SAARC is an intergovernmental organization which is created in 1985 in Dhaka, in Bangladesh. Its headquarters is in Kathmandu, Nepal. Very important point to remember. And it has member consisting of Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka. So all these countries we can see that they are our neighbors and have somewhere maritime or land boundary with India. So it's very strategic and very important intergovernmental organization, SAARC. If we talk about its global share in global of in terms of GDP, population, then it has a large stake in the world's GDP with 4.21% of the global GDP. So you see here 4.21% of the global GDP. It covers the SAARC countries, all the SAARC countries 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 SAARC countries. All these SAARC countries comprises 3% of the global land area and 21% of the global population. Okay, so 3% is the land area and 21% is the population. Okay, it's very important. So this shows that how it is important at the international level. And also it contributes 4.21% of the global GDP. Moving ahead, any intergovernmental organization has its some objectives and missions for which all the nations have come together and formed a body. So let's see the objectives of SAARC. Cultural integration and social integration. This is the foremost thing. It fosters and stronger cultural ties and regional peace. Okay, so this is simple. It promotes trade. Yeah, here if countries are coming together, then it is very likable that there should be trade. So SAARC promote trade, enhance intra-SAARC trade for economic improvement, social well-being, accelerate economic and social development to alleviate poverty. Okay, so these countries works together to lessen the poverty rate in their country with the help of trade and social development. And third and fourth and last is peace and stability. This is very important for any nation to grow in terms of its economy and political or social level, then it has to be its at peace and stable country. In warlike situation, a country can never grow. So SAARC maintain that there should be a peace and stability among the nations. Moving ahead, now let's have a look of significance for India. How it is important SAARC for India or how India is contributing to SAARC. First, it's regional integration. SAARC offers balanced cooperation between globalization and nationalism without losing sovereignty. Now, here SAARC plays a very important role that it doesn't affect the sovereignty of any country, and it also makes the country at the international level by making its globalization. Second is economic integration. It deepens economic relationship. Examples: RBI's SAARC currency swap framework. This is some initiative which might have been taken by RBI, and SAARC members have agreed that there can be a currency swap framework. Third is strategic connectivity. It complements India's Act East policy and regional ambitions. We all know about India's Act East policy, that India want to make relationship with the nations in the Southeast Asian, and also there is another policy of India, that is neighborhood policy. Neighborhood policy. Okay, India plays a very important role in the Indian subcontinent, and so, fourth one is soft power. It strengthens India's influence via culture, educational, and development initiatives. Now, soft power, I have again mentioning this. In every video, I used to mention about soft power, that how it is very important and playing a very big and important role in shaping the country's future in terms of at the terms of international level. So somehow SAARC strengthened India's influence via its culture, education, and development initiatives. Okay. Now fifth is leadership. SAARC supports India's leadership goals. Example: House SAARC COVID-19 Emergency Fund. India led the SAARC COVID-19 Emergency Fund and contributed in the fund. Now let's have a look of some achievement which has done by SAARC. Before going this, I would like to show you something. Okay, so pay attention here. This is SAPTA, very important. South Asian Preferential Trading Agreement. These two terms will be used later, so it's better to understand here. SAPTA, South Asian Preferential Trading Agreement. Now its purpose is to promote trade liberalization among SAARC members countries through preferential tariff reductions on a limited number of products. Okay, so it's a preferential tariff with reductions for some products which will be import and export among those nations which are the part of the SAARC. Okay, it was implemented in 1993, involved multiple rounds of negotiation aimed at gradually reducing tariffs. So here this is important, that when SAFTA was implemented 1993, and it involves in after multiple round of negotiations. Okay, now here comes the SAFTA, South Asian Free Trade Area. Now we all have come to know about this FTAs. India and all countries sought to do FTA agreement with all the other nations, that there will be free trade agreement. It's known as free trade agreement. Now the purpose of SAFTA, it creates free trade area among SAARC members countries with the goal of eliminating tariffs on most goods traded within the region. It was implemented in 2004. So SAFTA was implemented in 1993, and SAFTA, South Asian Free Trade Area, was implemented in 2004, but it came effect after 2 years in 2006. I hope it makes sense. Let's move further. So here, let's see the key achievements. In trade area, we have already seen SAFTA and SAFTA promote trade within South Asia. South Asia Preferential Trade Agreement, South Asia Free Trade Area. Regional identity. foster a shared South Asian culture and societal identity. SAARC represents South Asia culture and social identity and also foster. Now institutions South Asian University, SAARC Arbitration Council resolving disputes. So these are the major achievements which is done by SAARC in terms of agreements, in terms of identity at international level, in terms of some institutions like South Asian University and also Arbitration Council to resolve the disputes. Moving ahead, challenges and dysfunction. So now let's look at the challenges which is faced by SAARC. First is India-Pakistan tension. India-Pakistan tension. Political conflict has paralyzed SAARC last summit was held in 2014. It should be kept in mind that political conflict has hampered the SAARC meetings which was held regularly and last it was held in 2014. There are some unresolved issues, border disputes, suspicion of India's intentions, Big Brother perception. There are some border disputes which are among the nations which are the members of SAARC. That's why this affect the SAARC functions and also regular summits. Weak intra-trade. Intra-SAARC trade remains below 5% of total trade and one of the most important factor is trade between any nations which are coming together to meet as a make an international body. Intra-SAARC trade remains below 5% of total trade, one of the world's least integrated regions. Okay, so we see that the trade amongst the nations and the members of the SAARC is very less. It remains below 5%. So somehow this is a very big challenge and SAARC members should come together and discuss and increase the intra-SAARC trades. Consensus decision making. All decisions require unanimity, often leading to paralysis due to disagreements. Now, here is the problem. If they have to decide something, then decisions should be unanimous. This sometimes leads to disagreements which paralyzes the functioning of the SAARC. Bilateral irritants and asymmetry. Political tensions, trust deficits, and asymmetric development hamper unity. Some political tensions and trust deficit. There should be a trust between the nations, and asymmetric development hampers the unity of SAARC. Growing Chinese influence. Several SAARC nations are engaging more with China, impacting SAARC cohesion. So we all have seen the growing nature of China in terms of export, in terms of its debt trade policy. China is very famous for debt trap policy. Okay, so somehow all the nations are very influenced by China, and it impacts the SAARC cohesions. Moving further ahead, what is the India's contribution to SAARC? India hosted several SAARC summits, Bangalore, New Delhi, technological initiatives, national knowledge network extensions, launch of South Asian satellite GSAT-9. This is something very important. GSAT-9. India helps in the launch of South Asian satellite GSAT-9. In terms of finance, 400 million currency swap for stability. Disaster management. If you see in terms of disaster management, SAARC Disaster Management Center is in itself Gujarat. It is very important. In terms of education, India hosts South Asian University, which we talked about earlier. Okay, moving ahead, let's see what can be the way forward for all these things which we see the challenges. Either it is China's aggression, either it is less trade between the countries. So how the SAARC nations come together and sit together and decide for the better future of the SAARC countries. So the first is call for revival by regional leaders. This is very important. There should be call by all the regional levels of the members. Now, all members should come together to counter China's regional influence. There should be people to people social media efforts could build trust. Focus on SAARC, not BIMSTEC for Pan South Asian Union. Now, where the BIMSTEC is also the countries which are mainly Indian subcontinent, so sometimes this clashes with SAARC. Tech-based solutions like SAARC satellite can improve cooperation and business, which we earlier saw GSAT 9. So these types of initiatives can surely enhance the relationship between countries and it will boost the SAARC nations. Now to conclude all, let's see the summary. First of all, members: Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan, Sri Lanka. Okay, so total 8 countries are there in SAARC. It was established in December 1985, Dhaka. Its headquarters is very important, Kathmandu, Nepal. Now, some of its contribution in terms of land, it contributes 3%. In terms of population, it contributes 21%. But in terms of GDP, this is very less. That is less than 5%. It is 4.21%. Now, some achievements are South Asian Preferential Trade Agreement, South Asian Free Trade Area, South Asian University and Arbitration Council for investigation. Now, what is the role of India which is playing in SAARC? India hosts summits, satellite and tech leadership, which earlier saw GSAT 9, educational and financial support, that is South Asian University. The main challenges are India-Pakistan rivalry, weak trade, which we saw in the intra-trade is very less than 5%, trust deficit amongst the nations, influence of external powers, that is China's influence on the national level. Outlook is like how this can be revived. Revive a need for regional peace, development, and address the emerging challenge. So this is all about SAARC. I hope you enjoyed and learned something. Thank you, and let's meet in another video.